Hello, I'm Mr. Barrett, the head teacher at St. Philip's. Normally, I would be sharing this presentation with you in the school hall in May or in June and being able to meet you all face to face. Unfortunately, that isn't possible, but please spend some time reading this presentation because it contains some very important information for September. We hope that this presentation, along with the pack that you've received in the post, will answer many of the questions that you may have and will allow you to support your child in the best way possible. We look forward to seeing you all in September and welcoming your children to St. Philip's. Our mission statement lies at the very heart of everything that we wish to achieve here at St. Philip's. Jesus shines through us every day. We are the hands through which he works is the motto that all children get to know during their time at the school. We use Jesus as the example that the children should follow and aspire to be like, and we ask them to be God's ambassadors here on earth and in our school. This mission statement has been put together by children, by staff, by parents, and by governors. And when your child joins us here at St. Philip's in September, they too will contribute to the success of this mission statement during their time at the school. In January 2020, Ofsted paid a visit to the school for the first time in 13 years. We were one of only a handful of schools nationally to maintain our outstanding rating following the inspection. Inspectors commented that the quality of education is exceptional, the curriculum is expertly designed, and leaders have spent many years improving the curriculum in all subjects. Pupils are rightly proud of their school. Pupils feel lucky to learn so many different subjects and in so many exciting ways. As one pupil summed up, "You are never bored at St. Philip's." Pupils are caring, respectful, and tolerant. Their excellent attitudes to learning and impeccable behaviour stand out. Pupils really do care about others. They have a deep sense of responsibility. They want to make the world a better place to live. It was really nice that Ofsted, in such a short period of time, were able to find all of these things that are so special about the school. And it's quite clear that I feel strongly that you've made the right choice of where to send your child, and they will have every opportunity to experience success and enjoy their time at our school. So what makes us different? Well, firstly, we're one of only a handful of schools in the country who are associated and are members of the Servite community. We're very fortunate here to be so closely linked to our parish of Our Lady of Dolours. The church is very close to the school, and all children play an active part within parish life. We want to provide a spiritual, moral, social, and cultural education for all of our children that's focused on the development of the whole child. We are very fortunate to achieve such outstanding examination results, but we're equally proud that all children in the school receive a very wide, broad and balanced curriculum and are able to achieve success in many, many different subjects. Fundamentally, we know that if we want a child to achieve, they must enjoy their education. They must enjoy learning. So our role is to feed that enthusiasm, to feed that passion, and with that comes the success. So what can you expect from us? Well, first and foremost, we want the very, very best for your children. So we share your expectations of your children, and we want to make sure that they get the very best during their time at St. Philip's. We have a very professional staff who are passionate about the job that they do and are constantly looking at ways to motivate, to engage, and to take the children on in their learning. We recognise that parents are the primary educators of their children. We are incredibly fortunate to enjoy the support of our families here at St. Philip's. We recognise that parents have instilled positive values within their children that we're able to build on within school. It's not a coincidence that our children are so well behaved, so respectful, and so determined to do their very best. That is as a result of the wonderful work that our parents have done with them. What do we ask of you? Well, we ask you for your support. We ask you to support your children in their learning. We ask you to support your children when things might not be going perfectly within school. If your child's experiencing any problems, we ask parents to talk to us so that we can find a solution. We never pretend that every moment of every day throughout your child's time at St. Philip's will run beautifully smoothly and perfectly. There will be ups and downs, but the key is to make sure that you keep in regular communication with us, because the only solution to any problem that might be taking place within school is for us to deal with that within school. So we ask all of our parents to respect us, to respect the decisions that we make as a school, to support us, to reinforce those messages. It's very important that children get and receive a consistent message, and that the message that they receive in school doesn't clash with the message that they receive at home, or vice versa. By working together as a team, your child will have a much greater chance of success, and I am sure and I'm very confident that they will enjoy their time at school. For those families who have children joining us in nursery in September, I know that Mrs. Boardman, our office manager, has already been in contact with you regarding the 30 hours eligibility code. Thank you so much to those families who've already returned that. We've received many of them already. If you're still waiting for a code or have not yet shared the code with us and you do feel you are eligible, please let Mrs. Boardman know, because that releases vital funding for the school that can be put back into the nursery to give your children the very best resources available. If your children are joining us in September in nursery, please do not forget to make your admissions for reception for September 2021. This must be made through the local authority in which you reside. So if you're a Bury council taxpayer or a Manchester council taxpayer, you must make your reception application online through the relevant local authority. If you have friends and family who may wish their child to attend St. Philip's but feel as if they're outside of the catchment area, please encourage them to make an application and put St. Philip's as their first choice. We have had historically very large numbers of applications for reception, but numbers have settled down over recent years, and our reception intake for September is actually below our admission number of 45. So at present, only 42 children will be joining us in reception in September. So if you do know of any families or friends who perhaps don't feel as if they will be eligible for a place at St. Philip's, every year is different, and if they want St. Philip's to be their first choice, they must put that first choice on their application. These are very uncertain times, and my sympathies rest with those families who are preparing their children to start nursery or reception in September against the backdrop of the COVID-19 global pandemic. Currently, our school is open for approximately 160 pupils, so at roughly 45% capacity. In September, if the government guidance allows, we intend to open our school again for all pupils. But many of the arrangements that we currently have in place will need to continue. The key part of opening a school, at the same time as ensuring that we play our part in making sure that this disease doesn't spread, is the formation of bubbles. The principle being that if there was an outbreak or if there was a positive test of COVID-19, it would not result in the closure of the whole school, but instead the partial closure of the school or a specific bubble. The principle behind bubbles is that children stay together in a bubble or in a group, but that group doesn't mix with a different group within the school. We've been looking carefully about what we feel is the best system and the best setup for September. As you know, our reception children joining us in September will be split into two different classes. However, we are going to form one bubble of all of those 42 children. The reason for this is that there will be an uneven split of children across the two reception classes. The larger class will make use of the school hall, which over the summer holidays will be set up into a foundation stage classroom. That hall will have a larger group of children, approximately 25 children to 27 children. The other reception class will actually have a much smaller group of 15 to 17 children using that particular space. We feel that when the children come together outside for their outdoor provision, that those two groups of children should be able to mix freely. Therefore, that would mean that we would have to class all of reception as one bubble of currently 42 children. In nursery, we will have 30 children joining us in September, so they will be in one group and they will be classed as one bubble of 30 children. The reason why bubbles are important is that if there is a case within any of these bubbles of a child testing positive for COVID-19, government guidance requires us to close that bubble for 2 weeks, at which point your child will begin to be educated at home, supported by us here in school. And in September, we'll be able to share with you our home learning policy, which will outline exactly what that will look like. We all have our part to play to avoid an outbreak of COVID-19 within the school. A big part of that is regular hand washing, and your children will get very used to this when they're in school. When entering school in the morning, they will either wash or sanitize their hands at one of the stations, and that will be repeated at break times, meal times, and throughout the course of the day. We're asking all parents to ensure that children wear clean uniform each day. We ask you not to send your child to school if they're sick, even if that sickness does not match one of the COVID-19 symptoms. We need all children entering St. Philip's in September to be confident in managing their self-care, and we require them to be fully toilet trained. And this is very, very important because I have a duty of protecting my staff, and one of the key areas or the highest risk areas is if we're having to provide intimate care and support, particularly around toileting. It is also important that we avoid mixing bubbles. I mentioned in the previous slide that the reception will work as a bubble of 42 and the nursery will mix as a bubble of 30. We will ensure that there are staggered start times and finishing times for pupils at the beginning and at the end of each day. It is very important that once a parent collects their child, they leave the yard as quickly as possible whilst maintaining social distancing at all times. As mentioned previously, start and finish times will need to be staggered. The nature of the site makes this very, very challenging. We have in total just short of 370 pupils who need to access the building, yet we only have one front entrance point and 2 entrance doors within the school. Therefore, the start time for nursery and reception will be 8:55 a.m. and the finishing time will be 3:20 p.m. If you have a child in another year group, you are able to remain in the playground until you have handed over all of your children. All nursery and reception children must be handed over to an adult at the appropriate doors, and all of this information will be shared with you in due course. For any child coming after 9 o'clock, when those doors for nursery and reception will be shut, they must report to the reception area where parents will be asked to sign them in using the electronic signing in system, and it will ask you for a reason for the lateness. It is very important that good routines are followed and that children are punctual at all times. So the EWO, the Educational Welfare Officer, will monitor both absence and lateness throughout the course of the term. When collecting your child will only be released to a named adult. Please make sure that the teachers are aware of who these people are. Inform a staff member if someone else is collecting your child. And if this arrangement changes, please give us at least 1 hour's notice by ringing the office. And just a little bit of reminder from the previous slide, please maintain the integrity of the bubbles and observe social distancing at all times. Milk will be available for all children, and they may also bring in a bottle of water labelled with their name. Milk is free up to the term of your child's 5th birthday. No snacks need to be sent into school, as fruit will be provided to nursery and reception children on a daily basis. In nursery, children need to bring in a packed lunch only. A packed lunch policy will be discussed, and parents need to sign this at the stay and play session, which will be held in September. All pupils from reception to year 2 are now eligible for a universal free school meal. In your information pack is a letter which explains all that you need to know. Please indicate whether you intend to take this offer of a free school meal so that we can plan accordingly before the summer holidays. It is very important that you apply for free school meal eligibility if you think you qualify. So even though children are eligible for a free meal from reception to year 2, if you think you have free school meal eligibility because of your particular circumstances, please apply, because as a school we receive significant funding for those children who qualify for pupil premium. At St Philip's, we're not lucky enough to receive an awful lot of pupil premium funding, but in some schools who receive an awful lot, it can make a massive difference. So if you do feel you're eligible, please do apply. A reminder relating to holidays: all parents are discouraged from taking holidays during term times. All requests should be made using the holiday absence form, which should be sent to me. There is a high demand for places within the nursery setting, so taking your children out of nursery upsets their routine and deprives another child of the place. Nursery is an opportunity to establish good habits and routines which will help the children make a smooth transition into reception next year. As a school, we offer a cashless pay system called Parent Pay. All parents will be issued with a username and password for any online payments to be made via the Parent Pay account. Payments for school dinners from year 3 upwards, trips, milk, school fund and building fund are made through this system. No money is accepted through the school office. Cash deposits can also be made via PayPoint, and if requested, a card can be produced for the payment of dinner monies, whilst barcodes can be printed on letters for trips, allowing parents to pay cash at their nearest PayPoint outlet. Plenty of time is always given to make payments. Some deadlines run for the whole school year, and larger payments can be made in instalments. When your child does reach year 3, although it seems a long way off, payments for dinners must be made in advance of the week in which they're having them. We also ask all families to pay a £30 contribution to the Governor's School Building Fund. This fund allows the school to bid for building funding, knowing that we can find the 10% contribution needed as we are a voluntary aided Catholic school. Over £1 million has been invested since 2009 and has transformed the school building, but without this fund we're not able to bid for investment. It's a very old building, built in 1880. It needs regular investment, so we really do need your help in this. If your child is sick, it's important that you call the school office to let us know. Please give as much information as you can, as it may be the case that we have to instruct a COVID test to be carried out on your child. Please let us know by 10 AM at the latest, but if you can make it earlier, this would be appreciated. If your child has sickness and diarrhea, they will not be able to return to school for a minimum of 48 hours. In terms of COVID-19, the role of you as parents is vital to stop the spread of the disease. If your child is showing any symptoms of COVID-19, they must not come to school. Please inform the office and a COVID test will be arranged. Proof of a negative result will need to be shown before your child is allowed to return to school. If you or any family member shows signs of COVID and test positive for the virus, your child must isolate for 14 days. If a child or adult within your child's bubble tests positive for COVID-19, all members of this bubble will be required to self-isolate for 14 days. Unfortunately, we are unable to administer medication. This includes antibiotics which may have been issued by the doctor. Do not send any medication, such as Calpol, into school in their child's bag. Asthma inhalers or medicines for long-standing conditions can be administered but need to be given to the teachers and a care plan must be produced. In hot weather, sunscreen needs to be applied before your child comes to school. The pack that you received in the post will contain a contact form. Please ensure these are kept up to date and leave as many contacts as possible. Please also ensure that your child is familiar and comfortable with the person you're using as a contact. The school text messaging service will not be used to contact you if your child is ill. It will only provide school updates, and this will only be able to send the text to the first priority mobile phone number. We now do have an email service. If you share email addresses for the wider family members, they will also receive the email notifications. In the event that your child suffers a serious injury in school, our school office will always contact you by telephone and request that you collect your child. If a child has a minor accident, and in particular a head bump, a note will be placed in their bag. Where possible, especially with the younger children, we aim to have a face-to-face conversation between a member of staff and the adult collecting your child. It is your responsibility to check your child's bag each night to make sure that any notifications are picked up straight away. Uniform is now compulsory in nursery. Please ensure that your children have black Velcro school shoes. No trainers are permitted. Elasticated ties for children from nursery to year 1 are available to be purchased from our school office. We ask that long hair is tied back and that there are no short haircuts or patterns or lines shaved into the head. Only stud earrings will be permitted, no nail varnish, and children need to make sure that they have a hooded, waterproof coat and Wellingtons, particularly in nursery and reception, because children will access outdoor provision in all weathers. You can also purchase a blue school bag from the office. No other bags will be allowed into school. In nursery, there is no need for a PE kit. In reception, there is the need for a PE kit. This can be a very simple dark blue shorts and a white t-shirt, or there is a school PE kit available from our uniform supplier. Please ensure that every item of uniform is labelled clearly with your child's name and class. These images show our school uniform, the autumn-winter options and spring and summer options. All details of the uniform are included in the pack that you received in the post. This year, we introduced an optional sports kit. This is also available through our Touchline suppliers, details of which are in your packs. If your child does not choose, or you do not choose to purchase one of these optional kits for your children, please ensure that they wear dark blue shorts, a white t-shirt, and that they have a warm tracksuit or warm sweatshirt that they can use for sport outdoors in the winter months. Because the hall will be used as a classroom, all sport and PE will be taking place outside from September right the way through till July, so please make sure your children have warm sportswear available for PE. Below are the key dates and times for September. As we explained in the letter, some of the arrangements that we would previously have done in June and July, because of the COVID outbreak, now have to move into the first week in September. So in terms of nursery reception, the play and stay sessions, please refer to your invitations in your packs, which will give you the date and time in which you can bring your children into school. There hopefully will be some phonics and maths workshops during the autumn term, but these dates will need to be given nearer to me, that these have to be done virtually as well. For nursery, your packs contain the start date and time for your child in September. Children need to be taken and collected from the nursery doors at the beginning and end of each of the sessions. Please have childcare arrangements in place for September and keep these in place until your child is fully settled in the nursery class. Children joining St. Philip's reception classes for the first time should arrive at school by the back door entrance on Monday the 7th of September at 9:30 a.m, where they will be met by their class teacher and taken to their class. From Tuesday the 8th of September, please arrive at 8:55 a.m. Children who previously attended our St. Philip's nursery should arrive at school at the nursery entrance on Monday the 7th of September at 8:55 a.m, where they will be met by their new reception teacher and taken to their new classroom. From Tuesday the 8th of September, please take your child to the back door entrance as normal. In the information pack that you received in the post, you will find a white envelope with the school address on the front. Please could you look down this list and make sure that all of these forms are returned via that envelope to the school at the earliest opportunity. If you'd like to keep up to date with what's happening within school, our school website is a very useful place to find all key policies and documents. For the day-to-day updates, please follow us on our school Twitter account to see what is happening within your child's class. And recently, during the lockdown, we have established a YouTube channel where we're able to share very useful videos for all parents. And finally, this isn't an ideal way to welcome our new children and our parents into St. Philip's. It's a very difficult time for everybody concerned. However, we do look forward to September. We do look forward to meeting your children, and we do look forward to meeting the parents too. If you have any questions or any concerns, please give us a call or send them via email to the school email address. We look forward to seeing you all in September. Enjoy the summer. Best wishes. Thank you very much.